Hey y'all, Farmer Dre back at it. Today, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to prune a mature apple tree. So I got this fancy brownie here. If you guys haven't seen the video on how brownie works, just go back a few videos, or I'm gonna put a link down in the description box below with the brownie. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna put the GoPro on my head, and I'm just gonna do a voiceover and explain everything whenever I'm editing this video. So pruning is a very important job you have to do to a mature apple tree. And the reason you want to prune a mature apple tree whenever it does produce fruit is to allow light into the tree, because you want the fruits of the tree to be full of color, full of sugars, just a perfect #1 apple. And the second reason why you want to prune an apple tree is to adjust the crop load. And I'm going to kind of show you guys right here how you could adjust the crop load. So on this branch right here, this tree's already pruned. All these buds right here are going to produce flowers for next spring. And same thing as this one's right here. But if you have too many in a tree, all these branches will produce fruit. And if you have too many fruit, have a bunch of small, tiny fruit that are going to be no good. So we grow apples for profit. This is what we make a full-time living on here on our farm. And our customers want a nice big red apple. These are a gala apple right here, so the variety doesn't really matter whenever you're pruning. But you know, whenever a customer comes out to the farm for the U-pick or just at farmer's market, they want to see that nice beautiful red apple, big. And you know, whenever you're pruning, you could kind of adjust the crop load so you don't have to do as much chemical thinning in the springtime. So first of all, you got to open up the tree to allow light to all the fruit, and then you're adjusting crop load when pruning. And another positive note of pruning a mature apple tree is you could adjust the tree size, and it's a way of dwarfing the tree in a way. This is what the pros call it. It's a form of dwarfing. It's just pruning. And you know, with pruning, you could adjust your tree height. So whenever, you know, if you have trees or ladders or whatever platforms you're using to harvest, if they could only go up to like 20 feet, you don't want your trees to be above that 20 feet. So with this machine right here, our brownie, it's actually 20 feet clear from the bottom to the bottom of the platform. I'm 6'4", so you know, 26 feet in the air we could have a tree. But since we do the U-pick on the farm, we want the trees to be lower to the ground so that the customers, so they could have enough room to actually reach up with our pickers and everything. So you know, pruning is a very important job. And you know, other farmers prune differently. We've tried a lot of different methods, and the way we do it works on our farm. So we're gonna get to it, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how we do it. So over here, I am just cutting everything that's growing inside towards the tree, and I am cutting the branches that are just a little too leggy for the bottom of the tree there, and the platform all the way down to the bottom, and I'm just trimming the where you could be standing on the ground to be pruning. Adrian wasn't around with the lopers to clean them up, and right there I just cleaned up some water suckers or water sprouts. Same thing in the other corner. So as you guys can see here, some of those branches are just a little too leggy, so I go ahead and do a heading cut over here, kind of chop off the top. So there wasn't any buds right where I'm cutting right now. There's not any buds over there, so it's just going to be leaves. And for every bud that flowers, there's going to be plenty of leaves on the tree. So I'm just cutting off the tips there so the branches with the fruit are not as leggy and just kind of thinning, making a lot of heading cuts there, and just slowly and surely thinning out the tree so plenty of light can get in there. So with pruning, once you get it down, then it's just a simple process. So this branch right here was growing inside the tree there, and our pneumatic pruners isn't strong enough to chop it off, so I had to move back and forth. So I just completely took that out of the center there, and now I am cutting. Well, the hose got stuck there. Air compressor hose got stuck, so I had to turn around and get it. And over here I'm cutting a bunch of those water sprouts or the water suckers that are growing inside the tree. And if your tree is very vigorous and healthy, then you know those water sprouts are, you know, they're normal, and we just go ahead and clean them out every time. And it's kind of hard to see there, but you know, just trying to thin out the tree. And once you get it down, I mean, I finished this tree in 7 minutes, so you know, it's a pretty simple process. Man, I gotta fix that hose. It's gonna be slowing me down if I don't, you know. Yep. So every tree is different, and the biggest thing I'm trying to achieve here is just opening up the tree, taking some of that vigorous growth out from this 2019 season. And overall, it's just, you know, just trying to clear it up, making sure that if we do get, you know, fruit on a tree, it has plenty of room to size up and grow nicely. And just like in top of this tree right here, I go ahead and take out that branch because it was growing inside the other branch there. So it's just simple cuts like that and getting it done. You know, takes quite a bit of time, but overall, you know, we get the job done. And here comes Adrian, help me out. He comes on here on the foliar. He's gonna get our blue loppers there and start working from the bottom, and I start working on the top there. So as you guys just saw there, I cut all of those tips out, and those heading cuts, you know, they are good to a certain extent, but you know, we learned that over the years. You don't want to do too many heading cuts because then those buds will form new branches next year, and it's just like where I cut that, all those buds from over there are going to grow, you know, new branches and you know, grow more horizontal branches. Then it's going to be a bigger pain to prune them next year. But you know, we have the pneumatic pruner, so it's not too bad. But overall, it's just getting it done, thinning out the branches, making sure there's plenty of light, plenty of support for the tree, for the fruit, just getting it done. If you guys are wondering what those brown stuff are hanging from the tree, those are just rotten apples. And I usually like to take all those out of the tree, and those are just apples we just never picked. I remember this past summer the U pickers came out and they pretty much stripped the trees, and they left just a little bit on the trees, so we didn't come back and pick them all, we just left them there. So, but you want to take those down, and if you don't take them out of the tree, then they could cause fungal diseases down the road. And I don't know in this clip or not if I hit them out, but I usually like to. Gives us, you know, less problems down the road. I just go off and finish off this tree, and I move on to the next tree here. And I should have stopped the camera. It was a 7-minute clip, but I guess I didn't think about it, so I'm gonna end it here. Alrighty, so this tree's pretty much, we're gonna leave it where it's done for us on the farm until next year. And there is, you know, it's not 100% perfect like, you know, like other people would prune it, but we opened up the tree. There's plenty of sunlight in between those branches now, and all these branches, as you guys saw, they all have fruiting buds on them, so we're gonna have pretty good crop. But this is all the stuff that came on the ground. There's a lot of this stuff here, so it's just thinning out the tree, allowing light, and then, you know, making sure the center of the tree is pretty much empty here. So it's just getting it done. It goes pretty fast, and this tree's pretty much done for. So I hope that made sense. And as you guys can see here, the light difference, I'm trying to get in the sun here, the light difference between this tree right here that's pruned and then this tree right here that is not pruned. It's just making sure there's plenty of light going inside the tree, making sure that whenever you come out to the field to pick your own fruit, that you have enough room inside the tree to get inside the tree and pick the fruit. And that's one thing you got to keep in mind, that if you can't get inside the fruit to pick the fruit, or your customers to pick the fruit, then you know, you didn't do a good job pruning. So overall, you know, it's not a super hard job. It's just, it needs to get done. And we got quite a bit of trees back here, but slowly and surely, you know, we do 10-20 trees a day and we get it done. So I'm gonna continue doing this. Adrian and I will be out here. He's got the blue, the lopers there, loppers, we just call it the pruners. So Adrian's over here cutting all the water sprouts and stuff with the small hand, with the pruners there, and I come through with Brownie and do everything on top. So it's just, we make sure to keep all these water sprouts out of here, because they take up a lot of nutrients. And just, you know, eventually if you let them grow out, they'll produce a crop, but it's just they're always in the way and growing too much. So just take those out and then just make sure to clean them up. So I'm gonna jump on Brownie now and we'll continue here. Alrighty, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you guys learned a thing or two about pruning mature trees. It's just, you know, keeping in mind you got to get that light in there, and then you know, there's a few other factors whenever pruning a tree. But in all reality, you know, you always hear if you don't prune a tree, you're not going to have a crop. That's kind of a myth. If you don't prune a tree, you will have a crop, but that crop will not be as good as if you did prune the tree. There's just going to be a lot of extra fruit on there, and you know, the sunlight won't get in there. The sugar won't, the sugars in the fruit won't be there because there's no sunlight. So it's just, you know, there's it goes back and forth. But you know, pruning trees is an important job, but we take that very seriously here on our farm. But this is going to be pretty much it for today. If you guys haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, smash that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do post a video. I want to say thanks for watching up to this point. You guys have a good day, and we will see you next time.